What's going on, guys? How you guys doing? It's unclemusclez. I hope everybody's doing all right. Big shout out to the President of the United States, Donald Trump. Just got shot in the head and lived and is a freaking animal. So big shout out to Donald Trump and America, #1. Just want to get that out of the way. Anyway, guys, I'm going to show you guys how to do your settings for your graphics. I've noticed that a couple people seem to have some issues with their stuttering and stuff like that, so we're just going to go through the graphic settings really quickly, and I just want to cover what you should be looking for to get the highest frame rates for your crappy graphics card. And to be honest, I've been there. I get it, everybody. So let me just walk you through it. Performance. Basically, you could probably just turn everything down to very low. This is basically what you want to do, but even furthermore, this is going to probably take a second. I actually haven't done this yet because I've just been running everything at max. Max frame rate, you're obviously going to want to probably put this down to 60. 60 is going to reduce it to whatever your FPS on your monitor is. If you somehow have a 30 FPS monitor, you could even lower it to that. But this is just going to make it so when you frame cap or if you FPS cap, it's not going to overtax your GPU, your graphics processor. Obviously, texture quality you're going to have on low. Render scale. Now, this is probably what people don't really realize. You can drop this all the way down to 60. This is probably one of the best ways to reduce the amount of work that your graphics card has to do. This will allow you to run the game much more smoothly if you're having issues. You basically want to figure out some type of combination of the render scale for whatever your native resolution is for your monitor. So for example, we're just going to hit confirm right now. Like my native resolution on my monitor is 1920 by 1080. You could actually even just reduce your native resolution down to 720. This will also increase your FPS. However, it's going to look a little bit stretched out. Now, if you go into the performance, no, we're not going to apply that. And you go into the render scale, it's going to play still at 1080p, but it's actually going to render the image. It's essentially the same type of effect, but one's playing at a native 1080p resolution where the image gets stretched, and the other one plays at a native 720 resolution. Also, I should just make a note really quickly. You can't actually play the game in full screen window mode, but if you could, you shouldn't. And then also, obviously, you shouldn't be playing window mode. It's just going to run more slowly, so run it in full screen. That's going to, when you alt-tab in and out of your application, it's going to like flicker the monitor, but that's because it's being directly input into the monitor from the game. So that's what you want. Back into the performance. So render scale, you can actually knock this all the way down. Like I said, that's probably going to be one of the best ways to get some increased resolution. That and then decrease your resolution back down to 720p. You could also do a combination of the both. I'm very curious to see what type of results people would get from that. But my guess is that this game would run on very, very old and minimally. It's very minimally demanding and would run on very, very old hardware. I don't know how, like, if you could get it on 2 gigabytes or 1 gigabyte of VRAM, but I would expect that VRAM is your major bottleneck, and then the processing power. Like this game really does not have a lot of overhead. Anti-aliasing you're going to have on low. Shade you're going to low. That's going to be your shadows. VFX low. Everything. Draw distance. Now, draw distance you may want for like PvP scenarios, but in general, you can actually just turn this down anyway. Definitely have that on low. That's just going to be how far objects in the distance will actually render on your screen. Unnecessary. VSync, you're going to usually want to take this off. I've never played a game where VSync is something that I use. If screen tearing is something that actually annoys you, or if it's just your hardware that's doing that, it's something you might want to consider. But in general, you almost never need to have screen tearing. Motion blur, you don't need. You can use it for visual effects. However, I do believe the effect is going to be more taxing on the GPU, so you don't need it. Vegetation density. This is probably better just to have low in general. I am really just experiencing the game for just the cinematic and the more aesthetic principle. So I have, like I said, I have everything turned up. You don't need to do that. And then detail low. That's it. That's all you really need to do. It's actually really, really easy to get this game optimized for most people. We have a person in our guild who's running this game on a GT 1060 at 160 FPS. So you can definitely get this game running on your old crappy graphics card. This game will work pretty much for anything. So if you guys are curious about playing a new game and you want to play something that's free to play, definitely check out Once Human. It's a really, really good game if you guys haven't looked into it yet. I am recruiting with the worst team ever. You can check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/unclemusclez. Check me out on X, unclemusclez on X. I'm on Discord too. All the information will be in the description below, and I really do hope to see you guys there. And that's it. I love you guys so much. I got to go. Bye.